Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is another paid request from Luteus. Very, very nice guy. Thank you so much. If anyone ever wants to request pretty much any type of videos or topics or reactions or reviews or pretty much anything, you can feel free to send a request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And as you can tell from the title, this is a request to do a commentary on Titan AE, which is a fan Blu-ray that really good price and looks gorgeous. And sadly, this film is not on an official Blu-ray, even though it fucking deserves it. But let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. 20th Century Fox, which, funny enough, I guess sadly enough, you will never see this in a new film again. Because they changed it, Disney now owns it, and it's not 20th Century Fox anymore, it's something else. Now, this was done by a studio, I mean, it was done by Fox, but it was done by its animation studio. And this was their second film. The first one being Anastasia, that's what it was. Because the directors, you have Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. And man, these guys worked on, I mean, Don Bluth is the guy that worked on stuff from Land Before Time to Dragon's Lair, the video game with its exquisite animation. And Gary Goldman has helped on stuff like All Dogs Go to Heaven, Dr. Doodle, Thumbelina, Troll in Central Park. That was it, Anastasia. I don't remember Anastasia doing that well. I could be wrong. And this one came out and it bombed so badly, the studio closed down. The animation studio. I think it was in Arizona they were stationed at. And then, I guess Fox, they contacted, I want to say Blue Sky Studios, and said, hey, can we produce stuff with you instead? And that's where you got Ice Age and Robots and other movies. But I've always enjoyed this movie. Now, is the story that original? No. I mean, the story, you could say, is fairly basic. I mean, it's... aliens have taken over, well, at this point, they destroy the planet. It's many years later. This character, played by Matt Damon, the character's name is Kale. He has the secrets that will unlock this device that his father invented that will help the human race, and the aliens and such want to stop him. He joins up with this group of people who are... I don't know how to describe them. Rough and tumble crew. You have people like Bill Pullman, John Leguizamo, Nathan Lane, Janine Garofalo, Drew Barrymore. They're part of this crew, led by Bill Pullman. And like I said, is it a story that, quote, original? Maybe not necessarily, but it's done with beautiful, I mean beautiful animation. And I'm watching this on Blu-ray. This is the second time I watch on Blu-ray, and it looks fucking gorgeous. It looks absolutely stellar. I would put this above films of today. And this came out in 2000. And actually, the father is voiced by Ron Perlman. The father here. Just like, that sounds like fucking Hellboy. I'm like, it is fucking Hellboy. And like, the good Hellboy. And I know Siskel and... No, it wasn't Siskel Ebert. It was Roger Ebert and Roper. Ebert and Roper gave this 2 thumbs up. They really enjoyed the flick. It seemed like other reviews were more mixed. Because of the stuff I said, where it's a gorgeous film, but the story didn't do anything for them. But, to me, I like this kind of story. Yeah, it's typical, but it's well done. I think that's the thing. It's well done because of the voice acting, the effects, the 2D mixed in with 3D. To me, it was a great blending in this, and like yeah, some of this is just gorgeous. Like they put a lot of work into this, and also the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is fantastic. I remember listening to the CD of this over and over again, like Over My Head, It's My Turn to Fly, Not Quite Paradise, like quite a few of these songs I highly enjoy. Now this is the alien weaponry, and these aliens, I like the idea they're like pure electricity. That's what they look like. Idea is really what these aliens are doing. They're nowadays you've seen this. It's not the exact same thing, but Man of Steel, Independence Day Resurgence. But at this time, there was not like a ton of alien invasion films. That's what people don't realize. Until Independence Day in 1996, they were not making a ton of big, huge alien invasion stories. But after successive films like Independence Day, they're like, okay, let's do that. So then, but even Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows is kind of an alien invasion story. Man of Steel is an alien invasion story. War of the Worlds, the remake with Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise, and various others. Edge of Tomorrow, which I really enjoy. I say it's not original, but I mean, there's not a lot of movies where the entire Earth is blown up in, what, 6 minutes? I mean, there's not many movies I can think of in 6 minutes that you see the entire Earth get blown up. Titan AE, of course, After Earth. Which is a better After Earth than fucking M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dongs. Here we are 15 years later, and we got Matt Damon. Matt Damon voicing our lead here, and I like Matt Damon. You know, a lot of people, they crap on Matt Damon. I disagree. I think he's a talented actor. Yeah, I like Good Will Hunting, but I also really enjoy The Adjustment Bureau. I really enjoy The Martian. I'm not into the Bourne films, but yeah, I thought he did a good job here as the lead, and I guarantee you this is one of those films that no one mentions in Matt Damon's filmography, or they don't remember that he's the voice. Which, that's the thing, when these films don't get a Blu-ray release and no one ever talks about them, what more can these films do? Now, of course, this is in a future where humans are still around, but they're just used as, you know, being very much beneath all the other alien species. I guess because they're so few and far between. And those electrical, what are they called? The Drage? Yeah, the Drage. They're kind of the teen tuts, teen shits of this whole universe right now. And this is what I mean, just a very fun experience watching the flick. Marveling the visuals and the music, and it goes by a quick pace, and there's a jovial humor. Again, this is where the humans are looked at as, you know, down the totem pole. Of course, showcase how reckless our hero is, willing to take daring, willing to do daring things to get by, but he's got good reflexes, which will be showcased later. Well, maybe not the best reflexes, as you just fucked up. And that is Drew Barrymore. Around this time, she was doing films like Charlie's Angels, among other movies. And you got the purple hair styling. Hey, do you wash windows? I do not do windows. And there's Bill Pullman, speaking of Independence Day, as the captain of the ship. Bill Pullman I've enjoyed in The Serpent and the Rainbow, and that Independence Day I would say two of my favorites of his. I don't know why, there's certain bits of this animation that makes me think of heavy metal. Now, of course, it's not R-rated like heavy metal, but that's what it makes me think of, which is a good thing. Like the way the characters move, and this is PG-13, I believe. Oh, it's PG. Okay, it's PG. I think this other guy, the alien, is Tone Loc, a rapper that, movie-wise, he's probably most well known for a bit in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. And then his song at the end, "And Ace is in the house." And it's sad that this film bombed so badly. I mean, compared to some of the films that have gotten success, I mean, I'm sorry. I'll take this over the Despicable Me's and Minions. I'll take this over... God, now I'm trying to think of the other animated movies. I mean, people think every fucking Pixar film is an A-plus movie. I don't think that's the case. There's some I've liked. There's quite a bit I've liked, but not all of them. But they still got more prominence than this movie. And Don Bluth, like, he was such a, talented guy who helped direct this. Like, the amount of work he put into films like An American Tail and Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven. To this day, people still appreciate that. I mentioned the video game Dragon's Lair, the arcade game. And it's funny, him or the other guy, Gary Gold, like, someone was going to do like a Dragon's Lair sequel or sort, or an animated movie, and then that never happened. I have no idea what the fuck or why. I like the different alien species. Like, there's a variety of different alien species, so they don't all look the same, and each one has their own unique facial structure with the eyes. Like, one has those strings and the eyes are attached to it. And yeah, I don't think this film deserved to flop that fucking badly. I think that's bullshit. And Bill Pullman's character, I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this film. Bill Pullman's character goes through a couple little changes throughout the flick, which is interesting. Because he's much more of a father figure, guy to trust. Then you realize that's not really the case to be, and he's a turncoat, and then he has a little bit of a change of heart. I would say of all the characters, he probably has the one with the most character arc. Well, compared to the hero, which of course he cares about himself, who gives a shit, then he starts caring about something other than himself, which is, yeah, a typical trait, but typical trope, I should say. But you know what? It's one that I'm a sucker for. I think we all have those familiar tropes we're a sucker for, if done well. And you don't see a lot of 2D animation done nowadays. I mean, this is with 3D intermixed, and I think they did a really good job. It brings a certain colorful look to it. There's one which there was a request. Green Eggs and Ham on Netflix has 2D animation, and it looked beautiful, and I'll review that sometime this month. And I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of info on the film because it's been stuck on DVD. It didn't go into Blu-ray or anything of the sort. There's been no new documentaries. No one's been talking about the film because no one remembers the fucking movie. Is that the Lord of the Rings ring? No. You've been masturbating too much. Your hand is glowing. See, that's what happens when you touch it too much. Your hand starts to glow. You have the power of the glow, like Last Dragon. Pretty much with the help of that ring, he's got a map in his hand that gets him to this Titan AE project, which could help put the human race back into some kind of prominence instead of this almost extinct species. You got the Drage, the Blue Men group. Again, I like the look of the Drage. They almost look like something from Tron. Like they weren't. It's like if aliens wore the Tron suits. That's kind of how I looked at these guys. Or maybe they're just big fans of Tron. And like I said, they definitely wanted to make this a big production to really showcase their talents. Because you see in each scene, it doesn't just hold on a static shot for too long. There's either moving in different angles, high angles, low angles, sometimes there's push-ins. Like even this, like let's have a anti-gravity battle where gravity's off the fritz and they're all floating around. And this asshole Bud Cook, I think is Jim Brewer? I swear it's like Jim Brewer, the comedian. I could be wrong, but I know it's a comedian of sort. I know that Bud's a little twerp, he gets his comeuppance. And the Drage, they just have so much more of a colorful aesthetic compared to the other characters. They definitely stick out. Sort of this movie's version of Stormtroopers. And yes, Star Wars is definitely you tattletale motherfucker. Which, I mean, that's a character that just got blown to bits and his teeth was just all that was left. Pretty fucking violent when you think about it for 2 seconds. I mean, that character just died into a and his teeth was left. But yeah, Star Wars was definitely a huge influence on this. And sad to say, this is a better Star Wars movie than anything from Disney. I don't care Force Awakens, Last Jedi, all this shit. This is easily so if you want to see a Star Wars movie, but you don't like the new actual Star Wars movies, go watch Titan AE. Way of showcasing Matt Damon's technical aspects to get this ship going. And I want to say he's got actual blood on his arm. Which is not always the case when with these animated films. They're not showing it too much. Well, a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There's a spot of blood on the mirror. I mean, mirror. The glass there. I think this is Power Man 5000. I could be wrong, but I think this is Power Man 5000 on the soundtrack. Don't quote me on that. And this movie goes. I mean, that's another. This movie goes. I mean, we're 20 minutes in. And it's pretty fun and exciting. Like, you got this chase sequence and take your time. There you go. Elevator to hell. Going up this time. And stole the theme from man. Wally stole from this. Using a fire extinguisher in space to get from A to B. Although I love Wall-E, that's my favorite Pixar film. But yeah, the technical aspects of this movie is just absolutely gorgeous. Like each scene, like this, they could just have a static moment of him on the bed, but the way like let's have the camera turn and like a 180 just to, give a little bit of oomph to the scene. Granted, people just say it's just a version of them showing off. But you know what? I'm actually fine with it in this instance. If it looks good, it looks good. Now this character, Preed, is voiced by Nathan Lane. And he's definitely going to be one of our villains in the piece. Which again, I guess, I'm trying to remember the first time I saw it, if I did see that coming or not. Yeah, sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm getting pulled into the movie. I need to not do that. Hey, this is my jerking off hand, lady. You want to get closer to it? There used to be hair on it, but when I took the hair off, that was left behind. And Nathan Lane's alien character is just always trying to hit on Drew Barrymore's character. Like, tries to lick her hand, wants to sniff her crotch. Pretty much all the things in between. In between them cheeks, that's what he wants to be. And again, you have Matt Damon's character that only thinks of himself, only cares about himself, and of course got to go through the arc of find out that there's more to life than just his own selfish needs and endeavors. Now this kangaroo, I don't know what the hell else you call it. This is Janine Garofalo. Stith, I think is her name, Stith. I don't know what the hell you call her, like wombat? I mean, well, no, there's no wings, so I just say An agitated menopause kangaroo. Always pissed off. She needs to get laid to get some of that steam off. And she, like I said, she needs to get laid or something. And this, like, turtle-looking thing is John Leguizamo. Who's very nerdy, but also very fidgety, nervous, but, you know, nice character. And the colors really just are striking in this. I mean, just the amount of detail and effort put into this is just a shame that I don't want to say gone to waste because I appreciate it, but gone to waste in the fact that, you know, a film like this comes out and he gets nothing, and then some boring piece of shit movie's lazy. I'll take this over Wonder Woman 84 or some of this other shit any day of the week. But see, at least each of these characters have some kind of defining traits to them. They're easy to tell apart. They're easy to get a little bit, at least a little bit of their type of characters, even though you don't have a little bit of running time to develop them. But at least you get a feeling with each one, with their body action, with the way they talk, the way they act. But yeah, I don't want any guy or alien licking my hand that much, man. At least buy me dinner first. Fucking hell. And striking angles for, like, even just the ship going through space. It's not just static, blase shots. And you know, I mean, yeah, all the technical aspects are cool, but I do end up liking the characters. I do end up, you know, it helps that you have a good voice cast. I think that does help. I know at times people get mad that, well, they just cast a bunch of celebrities. They didn't cast just voice actors. I don't think that's always a bad thing. I really don't. If it works. In this case, I think it works. And people are like, well, why didn't they just do this film live action? If it did live action, but that's the thing. This type of story, there's not a, at the time, there were not a ton of animated movies of this Star Wars adventure, not just for little kids type. That wasn't a common thing. Live action, it would seem more typical. Not only with Independence Day, but you had the Wing Commander, you had... I don't even remember when that came out, Wing Commander. It might have been after this. No, I think it was before this, actually, Wing Commander, wasn't it? I think Wing Commander was 99. So, with, Freddie Prinze Jr. Planet Sisharum. Oh, this is an interesting world because these globes, they will explode if you hit them, and that creates some frenetic energy during the action sequences. And it's also nice to look at. It's and then these inhabitants they meet, I believe they're mutes. Like they never talk, but by their actions you get their allegiances, so to speak. Yeah, that's where you get these bat-like, well, not even bat-like, I mean just bat people, bat things. Don't do that, don't shoot them. And they're just standing there like months, just like, I won't even say months, but it's like, you want something, fool? Say something. Nathan Lane can't hit shit. John Leguizamo was one of those actors that he pops up a lot. I mean, Super Mario Bros. The movie, Spawn, The Pest. Of course, he was a voice in this movie. He was in, I think, the first Ride Along. He was in Collateral Damage. He was in Executive Decision. Like, very rarely he'll pop up as a star, but it's like one of those, like John Wick, he was in that, and a little bit in John Wick 2. This bat's like, just follow my lead, Matt Damon. Just do what the fuck I be doing. It's like, asshole, just do this. Praise to the sky. Flip your fucking hand, dipshit. I'm interpreting for the Batman. There you go. Just interpret the shit. That's a neat visual dynamic that as it goes to the hand, it'll actually turn like a compass. The dials in it. I don't know how the fuck that technology works with the rain and, but whatever, sci-fi. I just don't think of it much. Of course, the Drade being bitches. But the movie doesn't slow down much. I mean, again, I love the heavy metal, like 2D animation. Again, the humans look like they'd be straight out of heavy metal. And see, the Bat people, you know, they're trying to do their best. See, that's why they have these globe things, because that's a hell of a security system. And that's the thing, like these creatures are giving their lives to help these people, and like that right there, like this one just exploded. She flew, and then another one saved her. See, even without dialogue, these creatures, by their actions, some of them self-sacrificing themselves. You know, innate likability is brought upon it because of that. And nice sweeping shots, like that goes, like this ship goes into the water. Yeah, they don't know English apparently. Holy sheep shit. I love the red background too of the skies. Beautiful, like blood red background. And it's a very different, unique setting compared to the rest of the movie. I mean, the yellow, the orange, the red is a different color palette compared to other places. So it doesn't feel too much of the same thing. In retrospect, now it makes sense why the fuck this guy is so much of an idiot not paying attention. Like he does, and then he doesn't shoot the gun. So again, when you find out later he's a piece of shit, it's like, oh, it makes more sense. He just faked it all. He didn't pay attention because he's not going to hit him anyway. He doesn't try to shoot any of them down because he doesn't want to piss them off. So, you know, when you watch it at the end, it actually makes a little bit of sense. Damn, that kangaroo was shooting 2 guns at the same time. Holy shit. I took his fucking gun, you son of a bitch. Give my fucking gun back. God damn it. Got that ship's ass. Get the fuck back here, man. Right, we're caught on the tractor beam. Well, they got a team as well. They don't just have Kale, Captain. They got both. No, Preed was jerking off in the corner. I'm trying to remember what the hell else came out in the year 2000. And I might have to look that up. Well, why not? Got a fucking computer right here. I'll just say 2000 in film. I know Scooby-Doo came out in 2000. The first live action film. Here we did a little bit of development of Drew Barrymore's character, where she's come from. And the whole almost mythological idea of Earth, because it's been so long now, almost a... Well, I mean, over a decade at least. So maybe not mythological, but... Let's see, in 2000 we had films like Next Friday, Supernova. We had Scream 3, The Beach, Pitch Black. We had Mission to Mars, Final Destination, Romeo Must Die. We are Ready to Rumble, American Psycho, U-571, Frequency, that's a really good one. Battlefield Earth. Dinosaur, that was a 2000 film. Mission Impossible 2, Big Mama's House, Gone 60 Seconds, Fantasia 2000. Shaft with Sam Jackson. And there's Titan AE. And you got the super duper now tractor beam. So yeah, The Perfect Storm, Scary Movie, the first X-Men, What Lies Beneath, Night Professor 2, Hollow Man, Space Cowboys. Those are sort of the 2000 films that were coming out at the time. And yeah, this came out June 16th of 2000. And did not make any money at all. It debuted at number 5 with 9 million. Second week, it lost 60%, down another 3 million. It made 22 million in the US, 14 million foreign, so like 36 million worldwide. And the budget was like 75 to 90 million. Which for this amount of effects work, you look at films that cost double that and they don't look nearly as good as this. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. And this whole thing with the spaceship, like, such a be able to phase and shift through the whole thing because it's made of a different material. It's not metal. So because of that different material, you do just shift them and phase them through all different parts of the ship. That's an idea I don't mind. That one person had a leash. What is this? Sex slave? Is this a Spock from... Oh no. I was going to say, is this Spock from Star Trek? That's the coffin landed? No. It's Drew Barrymore. But yeah, I don't know why this film did so fucking poorly when it came out. I mean, was it even the marketing? I remember liking the marketing. You had one of the pieces of marketing had Creed, the song "Higher." Can you take me higher? I'm like, did people hate Creed that much? They're like, fuck it, they had the song on the marketing. I'm not going to see it. Yeah, I'm looking up like what beat it at the box office that weekend. And yeah, I didn't mind that scene where they go in and it's not the typical dumb guard, it's actually a smart guard. It's a guard that has common sense. That was kind of refreshing. The top, well, I'll even say the top 10 of the weekend this came out was Gone in 60 Seconds. That was number 1. And that film sucks. And I like Nick Cage. I like those kind of action films. But Gone in 60 Seconds, you forget about in 60 seconds. It's that fucking forgettable. And for a movie about a shitload of cars being stolen, that should not be the case. Big Mama's House, Martin Lawrence in a dress. Mission Impossible 2, to me, not one of the best Mission Impossible films, honestly. Tiny, number 5. Number 6, Boys and Girls. 7, Dinosaur. 8, Gladiator. 9, Shanghai Noon. 10, Road Trip. I mean, even Dinosaur, at this point, it grossed 120 million. But I guess at this point, maybe adults looked at this and go, I don't want to see a kiddie film. I don't want to see a cartoon. And maybe parents went, this seems a bit too much for little kids. Let's go see Dinosaur and other movies. I don't know. And see, there you go, progressive. People that, see, she was a damsel in distress. Drew Barrymore beat the shit out of them before, by the time they got there. I don't know why these guys have such a hard on for the human species. Like, why do they care so much about eliminating us? Like, not the other 1,000 alien species, only humans. Again, it's like, what is it about us that they hate so much? I don't remember if they mentioned it in the movie. Like, what is it about us that they fucking despise? There's going to be a video game on PlayStation PC, but it got canceled. Wow. In July 2000, spokesman for the game publisher Fox Interactive announced that development on the title had been halted, largely due to the film's poor box office performance, which was only one of many different factors that led to its cancellation. Thought even killed the video game was going to be made for it. 51% by Rotten Tomato standards. Roger Ebert, 3.5 out of 4 stars. But apparently not many other critics liked it. I can't believe it made that little money, man. Graham Revell did the score. I'm trying to look up info on this. This has the development of the film. And it's actually interesting that, you know, you have the girl, but she's not damsel in distress and need a rescuing, so it shows that she's independent. Kale here, I mean, oh, he needs rescuing, but he's also independent too. He was able to get out by himself and even steal a fucking alien ship. So apparently, it was in development at Fox in 1998. Titan A.E. was originally going to be a live-action film. Speaking of which, the script had been passed around to various writers such as Ben Edlund, Joss Whedon, and Art Vitello. $30 million had been spent in the film's early development with no progress. Chairman of 20th Century Fox at the time, Bill McKenna, then gave the script to Fox Animation Studios, and the creative heads Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. If it was Gary Oldman, that'd be different. Who were fresh from the success. Oh, I guess Anastasia was a success? I didn't think it was. Bill McKenna had no scripts for Fox Animation Studios to work on and was faced with the choice of laying off the animation staff unless they took Titan A.E. Despite their inexperience with the sci-fi genre, Bluth and Goldman took the script regardless. They were given a budget of $75 million and 19 months to make the film. The background... The animation is predominantly computer generated, while the main characters and several backgrounds were traditionally animated. Many of the scenes were enacted by the animation staff using hand-built props before being captured by a computer. Many scenes and backgrounds were painted by concept artist Paul Chin, who had worked on Anastasia and his direct-to-video spin-off Bartok the Magnificent. The storytelling and tone in Titan A.E. is much darker and edgier than Bluth and Goldman's previous films, with the film being regularly compared to Japanese anime. Although Bluth and Goldman denied any influence by anime, They have acknowledged the comparison. I can understand that comparison. I guess in a way this is almost like an American anime. This is actually one of my favorite scenes. I love this fucking song. And it's my turn to fly by the band The Urge. Right on target with the vibe. It's my turn to fly. Like, this type of thing was missing in the Star Wars films. That type of wonder and excitement. And it's just, again, it's not, we have to advance the plot. It's a moment. Boom. And the way it's edited with the song, I think is very well done. And like these beautiful creatures that Matt Damon's character is following along, keep it up with. It's my turn to fly. Like in this sort of fiery cavern. I mean, do it together. I'm literally just smiling. I love that story of the right song, beautiful visuals, just all put together. It's like, thanks for the ride, guys. And see, that was a really cool moment. And I think even Roger Ebert mentioned that. Funny enough, I was just looking through this. As he was talking about another scene. Oh no, he's talking about another scene, the ice rain sequence. But, yeah, that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. I love the song. My favorite song, the soundtrack it's by The Urge. It's My Time to Fly. I don't even remember where I was at. Oh. During production of Titan AE, Fox Animation Studios suffered a number of cutbacks which ultimately led to its closure in 2000. Over 300 animation staff were laid off in the studio in 1999. So it really wasn't this film that killed it, now that I'm reading this. And as a result, much of the film's animation was outsourced to a number of independent companies. Several scenes were contracted to David Paul Dozorentz's POVDE group. Oh, the White Angel scene was animated by Reality Chat Studios. Interesting. While the film's Genesis scene was animated by Blue Sky Studios, who would later on go on to help make Fox's Ice Age, Rio, Hornet Hears a Who, and others. Under pressure from executives, Bill McCann was dismissed from 20th Century Fox prior to Titan AE's release, eventuating in the closure of Fox Animation Studios 10 days after the film's release. All of these events stunted the film's promotion and distribution, which is probably... So, I'm glad I read that, because really, I was always under the assumption, because no one ever talked about this movie, this caused the studio to go under. No. The studio went under, thus this film's been forgotten, because if no one knows that the film is out, and it's not put as many theaters as other movies, it's not going to get much of a chance. Man. That's fucking crazy. Well, what made them... What was it that caused so much trouble? Yeah, this is where we find out Bill Pullman is full of shit, man. You're full of shit, guy. Like, was it... Maybe it was Anastasia. This is an article from IGN, granted. IGN. You can't spell ignorant without IGN, so maybe I shouldn't read this, but on this Nathan Lane, you two-face fuck. Not the actor, but the character. You two-face fuck. Long enough, dipshit. You and your fucking abs are gonna get your fucking face crushed by these. You and your tight shirt. Could you have a tighter shirt? Maybe it's suffocating your fucking brain. Your shirt's too tight, Bill Pullman. You and your fucking goatee need to go have a walk. Have a coke and a smile. Shut the fuck up, man. Ooh. Don't let him beat the fuck out of you. There you go. Kick him in the nuts. I really like the attempts of moving the camera within an animated flick in this way, with these 2D drawings. And like I mentioned, there's this show on Netflix called Green Eggs and Ham, which actually, ooh, that was a good shot. I almost said blood squib, but that's not live. It's not. This isn't live action. That blood looked better than some of the live action movies I've seen lately with fucking CGI. And thinking about that made me burp. Yeah, Matt Damon's got the prune face. Your ass is grass. You ain't my president, Bill Pullman. You disappoint me. You blue shit. They're afraid of me kicking their ass. That's why. Get your finger on my face, I'll bite it off. You guys don't think there's anything going on, man? Goon, didn't you just see Bill Pullman was a complete utter fucking dickhead out of the blue? Don't you think there's something up with that? Man, you all been evicted. You have no homes left. Shit. That's a long-ass mustache that guy has behind Matt Damon's character. You could drive a fucking motorcycle with those. You ride an entire fucking fleet of motorcycles with hair, mustache that long. There is, yeah, the guy with this long-ass mustache. You could play jump rope with those things. Jump rope with your own mustache. Football! Or soccer. He just puts it down and kicks the ball right back to the kid's face. Oh yeah, catch this. You broke his nose, Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Well, something had to break. Didn't break your spirit, so I'll break your nose and break your face. Los Locos kick your balls into outer space. Huh. Their dad was a soccer player. Now that about, there's not a lot of movies that put soccer into the. I'm trying to think, there's not a lot of movies that use soccer at any point as whether a plot point or just a character trait. It's not a sport that's really utilized much, now that I think about it. Huh. Well, while this happened, I do want to read this article to see June 27, 2000, when this article originally happened. Written. So bear with me. What has been a tumultuous few days for 20th Century Fox, there's been more bad news for the studio. After 6 years of operation, Fox Animation Studios in Phoenix, Arizona is closing its doors. The closing sends the creative team of Don Bluth and Gary Goldman packing along with the remaining 60 employees. Earlier this year, when Fox laid off 2/3 of the original 320-person staff at the Phoenix studio. At the time, the layoffs were attributed to a desire to make films more efficiently. Bullshit. That's bullshit. The recent boom in independent production houses doing anime work allow them to outsource the later stage animated work. It's no coincidence that the closing comes just after the dismal performance of Titan AE at the box office. Despite an initial commitment, when the studio opened 6 years ago to produce a new animated film every 18 months, Titan was the only third animated film to come out of the Phoenix operation. The other films were Anastasia and its direct-to-video prequel, Bartok the Magnificent. Ah, we got a montage. That's pretty cool. This is another one of my favorite songs. Probably my second favorite song. Over My Head by, I believe, Lit is the band's name, Lit. I am over my head. I'm just laughing because he, accidentally bit her fucking finger while eating the sandwich. Again, it's one of those ways to use a montage. Like, you tell your story. If you do a good song, maybe get some fun little moments like that. Like the ship break in and she's like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do next? That brings a certain personality, certain character to your characters. See, it's not fucking Mary Sue or anything. John Doe, Mary Sue, what the fuck. Push this out your ass. Rotted man, they will be alright. Let's see. Get this over here. No, I don't want your fucking cookies. This website. Oh, these are the ice crystals. They do look really cool, these ice crystals. And yeah, I mean, what also helps, because this is not live action, there would be still that differentiating between the real people and the special effects. And like, there's special effects and this is real and that's not. So then that takes you a little bit out of the movie. But here, because everything's animated, everything flows more smoothly, and you're not taken out of it by, oh, CGI, real CGI. I appreciate that stuff. And yeah, I do think it was the right call to make this strictly animation. Kangaroo lady, why don't you beat the fuck out of him? You got like legs bigger than his head. I don't understand what Jordan Gruffalo. What the fuck are you waiting for? Beat the fuck out of him. Again, your foot is bigger than his torso. Kick him, knock him the fuck out. I mean, it's not like you have a gun pointed at you, at least not now. But I mean, let's see. Bluth and Goldman have always been artistically committed to their projects, and it's possible that they didn't fit in with the assembly line approach that Fox may have been pressuring them to take. Huh. Apparently this is a link to Don Bluth and Gary Goldman's interviews. So they're supposed to make a movie every 18 months, and that didn't happen. It was open for 6 years. It's certainly disappointing news for everyone in Phoenix, says Chris, Fox Animation president. We are not out of the animation business, clearly from our investment in Blue Sky and the production of Monkey Bone, another film that didn't do well. The marketplace has changed dramatically in the last 6 years, and while we were once in the business of producing animation, we found other opportunities to make different kinds of films with different kinds of filmmakers that became attractive to us. And it tells about how the film that Blue Sky is doing is Ice Age, which did become a huge hit. Also, Little Beauty Teen, Fathom, and a Fairly Brothers picture, Frisco Pigeon Mambo. Never fucking heard of those. I don't know. What are you, Lex Luger? I don't know. And this is, this is an interesting scene because it's like a cat and mouse game amidst all of these crystals that could easily crush you in an instance. And because of the reflective surfaces, you could have that almost like mirrors and Enter the Dragon type of effect. Like, which is the real one? You think this is the real Quaid? It is. That makes me want to rewatch Total Recall. But and then Nathan Lane's character is like a complete fucking brown noser. Oh, that's why his nose is brown. Many times you've had that stuck up your captain's ass, bitch. Make up your fucking mind, which is it? You stupid. You fucked up. Bill Pullman, you're fucking up. You fucked up Independence Day Resurgence, you fucked it up here. John Leguizamo, don't fucking tell them shit. They want to be bitches. Say, I don't see anything. I don't see shit, Captain. Suck my fucking turtle dick, or whatever the hell he is. Again, this would be a pain in the ass to try to do. I mean, you couldn't do a live action. It'd be CG anyway, but again, all being digital, and it looks good too. I mean, this is 21 years ago now. This is 2000. We're 2021, so again, even the 20th anniversary can't even get this. And now that fucking Disney owns Fox, good luck getting an actual Blu-ray of this. And this is the one a very nice guy made that I bought it from him. He's not really making anything right now, so people are like, who was it? Yeah, I don't think he's really making anything right now. But damn, we're an hour and 7 minutes in. We got, yeah, 27 minutes left. Wow, 27 minutes left. What the hell was that? Put my phone over there. I'm too busy. Yeah, it's like a fun, like it's an interesting type of chase. It's not about speed. It's about, it was about hiding amongst the, well, a little bit of speed was involved, but like I said, it's a very different aesthetic compared to that more orange reddish where all the bats were, and now the complete opposite, very blue, cool blue. That's the TNA device itself that his father made. And I think what it is with me is that at times I get way too passionate about movies because I love movies. I'm a fan of movies. It's just that nowadays it just there are still some good movies or some entertaining movies, but I don't know, it just at times I see a lot of either laziness or ineffective pieces of shits. And of course, it's all subjective. I can only say my subjective. And then when I look at films that I personally think are underrated, overlooked, deserves a lot more than it's gotten, I just really get passionate about that because I appreciate what the people who did this film accomplished. I mean, for, again, 75 to 90 million, to me, this looks more gorgeous than stuff I've seen with double the fucking budget. Not just animation, but live action. I mean, there have been films. You give me a list of the past 50 films that cost 200 million. I can name countless films that this looks better than those. I don't know the budgets of most movies nowadays. Almost everything was like 100, 200 million, it seems. Fuck, Ghostbusters 2016 cost way more than that. And that didn't look any... I mean... Ghostbusters 2016 cost more than this. Now, you watched both those films back to back, you fucking tell me how. Please feel free. Again, you two are not gonna fucking wonder what the fuck these two are up to? Again, you're not having any, finally, John Leguizamo was like, what the fuck's going on here? Pretty stupid of that character to warn them. By the way, is he there? Tell him goodbye from me. I mean, if you want them dead, you just would have them dead or not say anything. And they would have been dead. So, Nathan Lancaster's a fucking idiot. But yeah, that's a lot of bad guys. They have this too much ego. Too much fucking ego. They think their farts are smell like roses. And they just, oh yeah, fucking idiot. Yeah, I forgot Ron Perlman did a voice in this as the father. Kind of sad he's not in the film more because he's a very dynamic voice. But I don't know what character he could have played though. Not when I look at the other characters. And that's the thing, like, yeah, I know the story's not the most original, and you just say that for tons of movies, but was Star Wars the most original story? No. But it's how it's done, and how it's made, and how it looks and sounds, and that's what, like, you look at the big films, like, many of them are not, quote, original stories. When you say original, like, original in what way? I mean, Star Wars, you go back to Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, mainly Flash Gordon, and all that other stuff. Bill Pullman, you have no right to call anyone a backstabber. You're a fucking backstabber too. Ah, that turncoat motherfucker. Just punch him right in the face. It's your fault for not realizing it sooner, man. I guess when you first watch this, maybe you're supposed to think that character died. Even though he says he's being very sleepy, but I guess you're supposed to assume, oh, he died from that. I don't know. Damn, smacked her right in the face. Yeah, good kick in the face. Kick him in the balls. Come on, three of you can't take care of this fucker. Be like Roll Cop, shoot him in the dick. Hey, I dealt with voodoo and I dealt with aliens before. I'm Bill fucking Pullman. Broke his fucking neck. I mean that's pretty. You notice though that there's not a big sound effect of that, which that we've heard that many times with the MPA back in the day. You don't really hear that nowadays. In fact, you never hear the MPA at all, do you? Like doing this, doing that, the problems with the MPA, that's never an issue now. But back then, it was, oh, that neck crack is too loud. That changes the rating. It's too intense. And I just know it because that neck crack, it is a neck cracking. It's this, and then you see that's easily what had happened. He broke the motherfucker's neck. So it's one of those things where I would like to have heard that be like, but again, I'm sure they would not have gotten the PG if they had that. Granted, it's stupid. I mean, the MPA is like, I'm like, what the fuck's the difference, man? But Drage, you're chanting, you're chanting. You said, I want to kill everyone. Satan's good. Satan's our pal. Will you just trust me, lady? I know you want to go back to Charlie's Angels, but just trust me. I'm Matt Damon. Kangaroo lady's just back there going, what the fuck? Can I do anything? A few hours. Yeah, sure, Matt Damon. You have a few hours to go. You want to fucking a cup and a balls and a blowjob too, Matt Damon? A few hours? You shitting me? Sound like 100 of them. Of course, this has to be some kind of nod to definitely Star Wars with the, you know, don't get cocky. That whole scene in the Millennium Falcon. Again, the animation is just beautiful. So that's why I'm kind of saddened. You know, the people who worked on this, they don't get to the accolades that I think they deserve. And I'm sorry, there's been some films that have gotten accolades that I don't think they deserved them at all. And so here's a film that is fast-paced, it's fun, beautiful looking movie, and it just, you know, gets nothing of jack shit. I don't know if we need a "Who's your daddy" joke, but okay. Kind of weird having that character say "Who's your daddy," but you know, okay. Who's outside with Taylor? Who the fuck do you think? It's the Jolly Green Giant. What do you think, lady? And because Matt Damon tried to save him, actually tried to do something to help him, earn Bill Pullman's respect, and maybe something to live for. Let's see, I'm going to go to IMDb and see what ranking it has and see if there's any trivia there, so I'm not just being silent for this. 6.6, I mean, it's IMDb. Should I be surprised? 6.6, but... And a little bit of redemptive arc for Bill Pullman's character, which is nice. Let's see, there are a series of prequel novels released, as well as a prequel comic book miniseries in preparation for the release of the film. This is the last film Don Bluth helped animate, or at least was involved with. Gary Goldman has been attempting to finance a film based on Bluth's Dragon's Lair video game, and that hasn't come about. The score was originally going to be composed by Harry Gregson Williams. He turned it down. Hans Zimmer turned it down. John Powell considered to compose the score but was turned down. So then Graham Revell did it. And the score is fine, but when I say the music, I'm more inclined to talk about the songs than the score. But the score is fine. The film was originally going to be released in 1999, but moved to 2000. This was due to the film having lost release dates to a few animated films, such as The Iron Giant, the English dub of Pokemon, the first movie, South Park Big Longer Uncut, and Toy Story 2. The character John Leguizamo voices Richard Kind, Austin Pendleton, John Stamos, and Tom Arnold were considered. John Stamos, that's a weird one. For that type of character? 20th Century Fox fired the original director, who was subsequently replaced with Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. And then they gave him 19 months to finish it. Matthew Broderick, Christopher Reeve, and Jean-Claude Van Damme were considered for the role of Kale. Really? Well, I mean, I guess based on who they cast, that'd be like the jump in years. But, I mean, the jump in years, I mean, if it was... Like, all those are much older than, say, Matt Damon, so would that mean then you wouldn't be able to cast maybe Drew Barrymore? I don't know. I mean, And that was really cool animation to see the next Earth being built up. The visuals kind of speak for itself on that. The film's working title was Planet Ice. Why? What became of Corso and Tech at the end of the film was purposely left uncertain by the filmmakers, so they would allow the audience to decide if they died or not. They looked dead to me, so I don't know about that. There's a video game, but it got canceled. Enjoy fucking on the new Earth. Hope you have a lot of fucking dick dumping, ball dumping. So Drew, are we going to fuck a lot? We need to replenish the population. We need to become like rabbits. So, do you want to go over there, or do you want to do it just here? Oh shit, there's ships coming this way. Damn. Well, we better hurry. Here we are, we're coming to fuck up the planet again and pollute the shit out of it. Yay! Only we don't have a smart guy in case, you know, this Earth gets blown up too. And yeah, it didn't really showcase why the Drage were so much of a had bitch fit against the human race. I mean, we did end up killing them, but they didn't know that. I would say this is my third favorite song. Not quite paradise. Yeah, an hour and 26 minutes. Joss Whedon helped on the screenplay, huh? One of the 3 writers. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say. I really enjoy the film. It's definitely one of my favorites of 2000, of this year. I think it's severely underrated animated just for the art, the beautiful art alone. But I like what they do here too. Give each one their credit. Like Matt Damon, Kale, Bill Pullman, Corso. Thought that was a nice little touch. John Leguizamo. Like footage from the film, a still picture, and then like their stats. Janine Garofalo, Stith, Drew Barrymore, Braun Perlman, Alex D. Lenz, from Home Alone 3 as a young one. That was Jim Brewer as the cook. Tone Loc. And that's it. Jim Cummings as Chow Quinn. Jim Cummings is in this. Huh. It was not quite paradise. Solid voice work, great animation, beautiful visuals, and fun soundtrack. I mean, hour and 20 some minutes, goes by a fast pace. I get more out of this than any of those fucking Disney Star Wars movies. I know I've said that before, I'll say it again. Yeah, I do remember having the CD of this and listened to the soundtrack quite a bit. This is back in the day when there was a store, pretty much, it says right there in credits. I grew up in Iowa, and I was in northern Iowa. So I was about, I don't remember how many miles, 20, 30, maybe even 40 miles from the Minnesota border. So we went to this place called Fairmont, Minnesota. And that's like the best, since it's out middle of nowhere, it's like the closest city to get to. And so one of the stores I would always beg my mom to go to is the store, at first was called Oncue, Oncue. I think it later, many years later, turned to like a Sam Goody, or if it was a Sam Goody, it was something similar to that. Maybe it was a Sam Goody. I don't remember what the hell else it would have been. It turned to something else. It just wasn't the same. But that's where, I got a lot of VHS tapes, John Carpenter's The Thing, 1978's Dawn of the Dead, a book that I have over here that I was able to luckily find and get again. It's just one of those things where it's funny when, and a lot of CDs too, including this. So it's one of those weird things when you have fond memories of a store, but it's also you remembering where you were in life at that time. And there's that part of you, it was a much simpler time. Much simpler time. But in retrospect, with the time of today, there's you guys watching, which I want to get to know and partake in stuff like this. So that's a definite positive. So I'm just seeing if there's anything in the end credits. I forget if there's anything special. If not, I'll just head on out for now. Yeah, it's sad that this movie bombed so badly. Give it a fucking Blu-ray release so people could actually see the film and its intended quality. I just had to leave VOD, maybe to see it HD, but yeah. Wow, okay, this is funny. If you experienced any condition that detracted from the theatrical presentation of this film, please call, and there's a phone THX number. I shit you not. If you experienced any condition that detracted from the theatrical presentation of this film, please call or visit this website. Quality assurance services were provided by the THX Theater Alignment Program. Wow. Theater Alignment Program? Lucasfilm teaches? Man, my friend Mike, OCP, he needed that when he saw the Evil Dead remake. Well, number one, because it's the Evil Dead remake. Number two, he had a horrible experience. See, he needed this phone number at the end. Wow, I never knows that. Maybe I could show the fun little Easter egg at the end of this. You can see. No, you can't, but go figure. Alright. But, yeah. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.